Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast. So today we're going to be doing a topic that I thought would be interesting because I know Doug and I are going to have different opinions on. But it's basically Doug has to drink his canned coffee. It's long. I told him as long as he doesn't slurp it. Just kidding. How we would invest $1,000 into a new business if we were starting from zero. Like, what would we do with the money?
I know a lot of what I would not do for sure.
I have no idea what you're going to say.
I hear all the stuff that people spend on. I'm excited for this one.
Yeah. But before we get into it, I have to interject because we have the free 5-day challenge.
Man, look at Haley pulling out call to action.
I know. I always forget.
Usually I got to come in here and I
always forget.
And this video is sponsored by me. Just kidding.
Anyways, in 3 days, we are kicking off our 5-day. Basically, I don't know the title yet. It's going to be on the page, okay? But it's something like, make a full-time living within 2023 starting from zero. Something like that, okay? Clearly, we do things right before we do them. So I'll leave the link down below to where you guys can join our private Facebook group. But basically, in a nutshell, we mentioned it last week. It is 5 days jam-packed of all the information. Not all of it, okay? We'd have to be here for like years. But as much information we can condense into 5 video trainings. And then also, we're going to be going live in the group, answering you guys' questions for how to grow and go viral on social media, depending on whatever platform you're on, how to launch your first digital product, how to choose and really niche down to a niche that's going to be most profitable, how to hit your goals. And so if you guys have, like I said before, joined a challenge, this is brand new, totally different than before. We're going to touch on mindset, which some people hate, some people love, but it's like so necessary. And so if you're not making the money that you want to be making, I would definitely join it.
You got to take whatever steps you can if you're hitting your goals yet. We're literally going to be in there. And I don't want to put it this way, but it's effectively going to be like 5 days of coaching. You're going to answer anything. 5 days of answers, basically. What's going to happen. Yeah. And I think we're doing something special for that.
Yes. And so we're also doing a $500 cash giveaway to one lucky winner. I know. So I could never put that in an email. I get spammed. But it's flagged. To one person at the very end who completes all of the homework, which it's so easy. It's like a couple questions and you just post them underneath like the day's video training. And so one person will win that. I'm also going to do 3 other prizes. I think you'll be able to win our course for free, our coaching for free, and something else I haven't decided. So all the details will be down below. Yep. And so you guys can just get on our email newsletter and be alerted into the group. And so we're so excited to help you guys out there. And I will not hold back. I'll send you guys Loom responses of things as long as it takes. Loom is like a video of me talking. And so I just really want to help you guys get value. And so, we're excited for that. Yeah.
That's going to be a fun one.
Yeah. And so anyways, okay, back to it. Okay. So how we would invest $1,000 right now if we were broke. Let's go.
Okay. So am I supposed to be going first?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me start off with what I would not invest in. Because what I would not invest in is what 99% of people would go invest in.
No idea what you're going to say.
Okay. The first thing people do are like, I got $1,000. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go buy myself a domain. I'm going to go set
Doug
up.
has 30 domains. What are you talking about?
I'm going to go set up WordPress. I'm going to go start making a site.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to start going. Any of those things, I'm going to go get a logo. Oh, man. I'm going to go buy.
Logos are dead.
I'm going to go buy website templates. No. You guys don't.
I did this back in 2014. It was so fun.
Frustrating.
That's when I didn't need it.
I used to sit there with Haley's thing, and you'd have to drag things into plugins.
Daily dose of darling.
This is before you used to have drag and drop stuff like page makers and page builders that you.
Doug was my coder.
I was the code person.
It's like, Doug, I just need to move this thing. He's like, it's not that simple.
Like, Doug, can you make this line a little bit thinner? And I'm just like, oh my god.
He's over there with the HTML.
I know, dude, it's so annoying. But so that is what I would not invest my $1,000 in right now. Okay, that's a lot of times when people have a business idea, they're like, let me go buy my domain. Let me go put a trademark on something, and they spend like $300 at the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office to trademark a name, okay? Or they'll buy a website. It's
like you haven't made a single cent.
A graphic designer. What are the other funny things that they do with their money when they think they need to start a business? They're like, oh,
they want to feel legit. Yeah, LLC right away.
I'm gonna go set up an LLC.
You haven't made any money.
You haven't done anything yet, and technically in some areas you can write off money without having an LLC. So don't even worry about any of that stuff yet. You should be investing in something that you can actually use, which I want to wait. I want to see what Haley says first. I have a feeling I know what she's going to say, but that makes sense, right? Don't invest in those things that you don't need.
Yeah, no, that's silly. Okay. I was reading a book. I only got through half of it. It's huge. I know, always. It's called $1 Million. Oh my gosh. What is it called? I don't remember. I'll link it down below. It's so good. It's that one where you, $1 million business type of book. I can't remember. It's so good. I'll link it down below. But basically, he says in there that you should not do anything but focus on selling. So how can you get more sales? And it doesn't matter if you got no audience, and this doesn't matter what the business is, because people will spend so much time on their like prototype. It doesn't matter, physical business, like physical products, digital products. And they'll spend so much time on, like Doug says, websites, things that are just not getting sales.
Yep.
And so he's grown all these businesses. He's obviously way smarter than us. And every single business he starts for other people, and he's now an investor, he's like, well, how many sales have you gotten? So sales. But anyways, that's what you should focus on. So, but if I had $1,000, I'm going to give you like my literal answer.
Okay.
Which is not like, it's not like
Keep going.
what you guys
That's
want.
Okay, keep going.
What do you think I'm going to say?
I have a feeling Haley's going to say something like pay $1,000 to a mentor, or pay $1,000 to join a membership or a group of
Wrong.
some sort.
It's going to be at left field.
What?
When I say it, you'll be like, okay. So if I had only $1,000, get ready for it. I would go into debt.
Oh.
You know I'd go into debt.
That's a trick question.
I know. I just said it's a trick. I'll give a trick question and the other hypothetical. My honest
You can't say
answer.
if I only had $1,000,
Okay,
I'd
but
go
just-
get 10,000 more dollars.
I gotta give the real
Is that
answer.
What you would do?
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah, I get
You know I'd say it, and you'd know you do it
Haley'd
too.
be savage. Haley'd be like, I'd spend that $1,000
I still
going out
am.
and getting a loan.
No.
I'd
Okay.
spend $1,000.
Let
to
me
go
tell
open
you
up a
what I
credit card.
really did. Let me tell you what I really did, and then I'll tell you what I would do if like debt wasn't even in it. Like you couldn't do it. Like if my hands were literally tied in, there was no credit cards.
Okay. Well, let's hear the credit card.
Because I just have to. I just have to be real, okay?
Okay, go on.
So back when I, in the last podcast
That's a good
episode,
answer, by the way, you guys. That's a good answer. Keep going.
not really. It's annoying to some people. They're like, oh, she just, I am the Dave Ramsey, or you don't get it. And I was too, okay? So back in the day,
man.
I was Dave Ramsey, or remember I got the 7 steps, or was it 11? I don't know.
Bro.
Listed on the fridge,
It was
written
on
in
my
a,
damn fridge.
I still have it.
I was like,
And
yeah.
so anyways, I was
Shopping
like,
at Food for Less
beans
than
and
online.
rice, like we only lived off of like 60 grand, and which
People
it was
were
like a long,
yeah,
yeah.
it's so much money. We lived in LA. Dude.
yeah, our rent was like 1800 and we had to do,
We lived off the beach in LA.
yeah.
Like
So this
60
was
grand
like
ain't gonna
6
get us
years
nothing.
ago.
Yeah.
And okay, so we didn't have much money, and then I quit my job to be home with my baby. We all know the spiel if you listen to me, but if you don't, I had around 12 months to figure out how I could replace my income, 54 grand a year. And this is when I was trying to do YouTube. I was posting about anything. And so I literally didn't have any money. We were in $40,000 worth of student loan debt. What, do we even have a savings account? Like, no, we didn't even freaking no.
We had no savings. We had
His car broke down every
my
other
car
day.
broke down every other day. I had to like push
Street
it to start
sweeper,
it.
just ticket.
Tickets, like
Couldn't
it was
move it.
brutal. Yeah, it was crazy.
So I was cook. Our meal of life was, Doug introduced this to me because he came from a family that didn't spend a lot of money at all.
Oh.
Rice,
Uh-huh.
pork, because
Uh-huh.
it's cheapest meat,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Cream of mushroom soup on top,
Bomb.
canned green bean.
Dude, yes.
He
let's
wants it
go.
now. Kill me. I would eat it. It's pretty good, honestly. If you're like hungry, but that was like the meal,
Dude, that
and
was
then
it. And
frozen
then I would go into my office early in the morning.
ramen.
Yeah, ramen. I was eating ramen one day at the office, and the guy was like, payday is coming, right? And I was like, I got to save money, right? I'm on
Yeah.
Dave Ramsey, right?
You're
But
like,
anyway.
my wife would never.
know.
Yeah. So anyways, we were very frugal. And then I was like, I can't, let my baby go to daycare. So at that time, didn't have any money. Doug bought me. We're always in it together because he sees my vision. I'm very passionate, obviously, and he is too.
Got no other choice, let's be real.
Me too. You guys don't even know what I deal with, okay? He's a hobbyist.
She doesn't know what's
That's
happening.
another
Yeah.
episode, okay? He spent like thousands on racing equipment this
That's a
month,
lot
so
of money.
I can't. Okay, so anyways, he bought me a lot of things. He bought me a DSLR
Yep.
on Amazon store card.
Yep.
And the reason why I
You open
say
up a
it,
credit card, yeah, Amazon.
like, I don't want to encourage you guys to get into debt. Be like, look at me. I got into credit card debt. You do it too. But I'm going to be straight up real. Okay. And it changed my life being able to leverage credit card debt.
like
It just depends on how, are you going to quit? Like, if you're going to quit, then no. If you're going to make it no matter freaking what, yes.
it depends on who you
So
are.
who you
and, like,
are.
what risk you're willing to take.
Yeah.
But if you're not willing to take the risk, like
Like,
you're-
if you
you're
can't
just not-
work
you're just not
hard
gonna make it, let's
and
be
you're just
real.
going to be down in the dumps, you're just going to be sitting on credit card debt.
Yeah.
And so anyways, it was hard because I was a Dave Ramseyer, but I was like, am I going to just save my way? Like, no, I had to make money. And so in order to make money, I had to compete on social media. At the time, it was 2015. You didn't have a good iPhone. iPhones were janky. And so I needed, because at the time it was like blogger picture, 2016, 2015 photos were like everything, flat lay shots, all that. So I had to compete. And so I needed a good camera. And so he got me the 6D, which we,
No.
yeah.
The very first one.
Oh yeah.
was
He's bought me
T3i.
one with his money, his work money.
Yes.
And
That was the very, very first one back in the day.
I don't know if you didn't buy that on credit though. It wasn't that expensive.
No, that one was on credit too. I didn't even have the money for that.
And then you bought the 6D,
And then we bought the 6D.
which was the best camera ever.
Yeah.
It's like the
It's still in the garage. I still have it.
dupe of the 5D Mark III.
Yeah. It was like this. The 6D was like the non-video high quality, non-weather sealed version
Yeah.
of like a 5D.
was
When it
the
was like
same
a
kind of
Mark
thing.
II back then.
Yeah.
Like it was
I
a
don't know.
long time ago.
And
but-
then you bought me, which is not necessary, but you had utter faith because I was like just working so hard.
Uh-huh.
So you got me the Mac computer, which is actually down there.
Yep, got you an iMac.
Yeah, which the kids just play on. It's like old. You can't even tell, but
I forgot I got all that stuff. I forgot we did that.
yeah. And so you're the first person to do it. And anyways, so just to give you guys a background, I know I'm going to answer the question if I literally could in a minute, but like honestly, I mean, so every entrepreneur that we have bought into their programs that make millions of dollars, $1 million a month, they believe in investing in their business. It's only the average Joes, 8 to 5ers, which we were that, okay, that don't believe in investing in themselves. Now, what is investing in themselves? Let's be straight up. Credit cards. Okay. So for anybody that's like, I can't invest because I don't have the money. It's like, how are you going to get the money?
Yeah.
You're going to like have an epiphany overnight, or are you going to pay for someone to teach you how to do, or pay for the camera that's actually going to make you compete on social media? You really think you're going to get ahead by using a janky phone?
Like a Razer,
Let's be
Motorola Razr?
self-aware. Absolutely not. Razer,
Dude,
no.
that was back in the day.
Or a
What is it?
non-iPhone. Those don't have good quality.
Yeah, and people are gonna be like,
Need-
the cameras
you-
are better. Which
absolutely
they are.
not.
I agree. I
They're
like
not
Androids.
compatible with
They're not compatible
Instagram.
with Instagram, which sucks. Anyways, yes.
I'm gonna calm
so,
down.
So Haley's point here was, if you only have $1,000, you need to get more money, get into debt to get the tools that you need to make it to start a business.
Yeah, so you don't want to get wild. I never put like, well,
We put
that
a
was
lot
the
of money in
start. That was
Anyways,
the start.
okay, we'll go back through there. Let me touch on a couple of points here too that I'd go through. Okay, I agree, Haley. You need to buy the tools and the foundation that you need to do your business, and we'll get into the hard $1,000 limit in a second.
Yes,
Like,
that'll
we'll
be
do
the
that in a
worst
second. Yeah, that one's gonna be
discussion for
tough.
me.
Let me talk more about what I would not buy. Okay, because I love talking about people buying things on the wrong reasons. Because I hear as the guy who like funnels all of our sales and that funnels all of our applicants and stuff like that. I'm the guy that hears what people are doing, and sometimes you're just doing everything wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's not a bad thing because
You'll
you're
learn.
here for me to correct it.
Yeah.
You know, but these are things I need to put out there. Okay. People put $1,000 into ads. Yo, what are you running ads for?
Yeah,
You know,
you need to make.
You got no offer.
You got to get.
You have
sales.
no product.
Yeah,
You have no trust, no audience, no value on anything. What are you running ads for?
a dumpster
If
fire.
you
that's
don't
what it is.
have a conversion rate with a potential return on investment already mapped out and written out,
Like
because
it's happened.
Like it's happened. Like if you don't have 1,000 sales worth of proof to prove something,
Mm-hmm.
don't put money into ads for anything. And for the love of everything, do not buy followers or put ads into growing your audience, because
No.
like ads are things that you do to scale and to put more on top when you need more on top.
Like they say, gasoline on a
Yes.
already fire.
Yes, on the fire that's already there. But you don't dump gasoline on a wet pile of rocks, okay? Like you don't do that.
Yeah.
So do not spend money on ads, okay? And also do not spend money on things like rebrands or things that are visual and stuff like that.
We have such a long list of what
I
not to
know.
do. I
So
know, it's
that's
hard.
but those are really just for me. The two main things are: do not spend money on things like domains and websites and email lists when you don't have any email or anything like that, and then don't spend any money on ads when you don't have something already working for you.
Yeah.
Okay. Are we
Okay.
ready to get into the hard $1,000?
Ugh, no.
limit.
I'll try to teeter totter back and forth. But
Okay, go ahead.
let's say I did like what I
I'm
did.
gonna take notes and I'm gonna add up
Why?
Haley's $1,000.
It's not going to be a lot. Okay. But if I was where I was years ago, what I should have done is years ago, it worked out. You know, it took longer than I would like. I mean, not really. I replaced my full-time income in around a year being a freelance UGC content creator. Then next year I did YouTube full-time. The next year Doug quit his job and went with me full-time. The next year we probably hit 6 figures in YouTube-y stuff. Next year we quit it all because we hate it. Just kidding. We quit it all because it was burning us out and I had to chase algorithms. Then we did courses. We've been able to hit 7 figures. So anyways, it's worked out, but it's taken like a span of 6 years.
Yeah.
So like, you know, if I wanted it to go faster, what I should have done is, yes, bought the camera at the time. Nowadays, it would be investing in the latest iPhone because it is the lifeblood of your business.
And if you get like a new iPhone, a lot of times they're like, oh, 36 months, no interest payment.
Let's not shield that because
And
they're
like,
already
and
going
you're
to
like, what's up? Yeah.
Yeah, no interest. We always did that, but
Yeah.
you do
So then,
you.
but then
It's like-
you see, here's that thing. Then it's like $1,000 is like an iPhone's like $1,300. But if you do the payment plan, it's like $33 a month. So there's your $33. So you have
people like Dave
900
Ramseyers don't see that
9,000
like that.
$9,937 left. Or
Okay.
whatever.
Anyways. Okay. No. Okay. So, okay. I bought the camera because that's necessary. So it just depends.
100%.
Like if you're trying to do YouTube, you can totally do it on your phone. Just totally, like it really depends on the niche. So if you're just doing talking head videos, you could use the latest iPhone or maybe the model below.
Yeah.
But if you're trying to move around, the lighting's going to be shoddy. It's not always going to be perfectly lit. If you like have the mentality that like, I will freaking do it. Like I will, like no doubt in my, maybe there's a little doubt, 1%, but you're like, I'm not going to quit. Like not going to quit. Will do this no matter what. There's no failure. It's only if I quit. So you have to have that and say that to yourself all the time. Then you just aren't scared about those purchases. Like for me, dude, I didn't have any money, wasn't making any money, but like that camera was my ticket. That camera has made me over 7 figures. That's 60.
Made so much money.
You know, no regrets. So what else were we buying at the time? A website, not necessary. But again, like I don't regret any of those.
Haley's branding though, like the situation, the branding back then, 2015.
Yeah,
at that time,
necessary.
Websites blogs were the thing.
Yeah, and I was getting traffic to it. It was getting me paid.
You drop like the big names. I mean, like everybody at the time was like, they want to be like Gal Meets Glam and stuff
And
like
yeah,
that. You know,
that's what I was always telling Doug. That's why Doug knows who that is. But I was getting clients by showing my website that was professionally designed for freelance work. So that mattered. I wanted a good looking domain, good looking. What are they called?
As brand aesthetic website, like your
Theme.
portfolio and your theme, everything had to look really good.
Yeah, and so it just depends on how you're making money. So you have to ask yourself, like, I just feel like if you guys sat down, I know I'm preachy, but if you guys sat down, or if I sat down, anybody, and was like, well, if you were going to lose your house and you had to do it, what that's the steps you need to take. And that was always the mentality, still is a mentality that I have. Like, if I was going to lose my house, yeah, I need a website. Let's do it. Yeah, I need that camera. I have to have it. Like, have to have it. So anyways, in a nutshell, if I had unlimited credit for right now, camera, I would buy everything.
Well, obviously you'd buy everything. Yes.
It wouldn't cost $50,000. It might cost me what do you think? 10 grand?
I would think like 6. If you did like a payment plan into a mentorship.
But the problem is I know a lot of you guys are like, oh, my husband would never, I could never, that's too much, that's too risky, I don't believe in credit card, what about the interest? But our mentality, Doug and I's now, is like, dude, 10 grand's nothing.
Just make more
we could
money.
burn it and it wouldn't. I know that's like shutter.
Super cringy.
Doug's gonna spend 10 grand on his race, but someone's got to say it. Like you have to run in circles of people online, at least if they're not in your regular life, that think of 10 grand as like $1,000. Yeah. $100.
$500. Yeah. $100.
So now, or back then, 10 grand. Like, wow, our cars weren't even 10 grand. They're breaking down all the time. Couldn't afford anything. But now it's like, okay, it's a 10 grand course. Like, does it work? You know, is it good?
Yeah. But that's only because we've discovered how to make more money.
Yeah.
Which leads
and
me
you guys know too, though. Like, you guys have that knowledge. Yeah. Go ahead.
I was going to say, which leads me into what I would spend my $1,000 on.
Okay.
But we'll get to that in a minute.
I'm done. I get so fired up. No. I already got a comment the other day. You never let him talk. Okay, I'm letting him talk, people. Okay.
Yeah.
No.
I'm gonna.
You do yours first.
Am I gonna edit this video? Whoever's editing this video, maybe it's our assistant. I'm gonna put a screenshot of like our transcript that shows.
You do that every
time.
time.
Like Haley, 75% talking, Doug 23.
He talks a lot when he wants to.
It's like 2% static air or something.
Okay, you go. Okay.
Okay. If I were to be as real as possible with $1,000, this is what I would do. First, I wouldn't spend any of it right away. I would first do a mass ton of research online to find out what people are doing to make money the fastest. Okay. At times, this was things like copywriting and medical coding, or like those things where people like that's more legitimate than like this app pays you to walk, which you see ads for and stuff, you know, like you've seen those ads,
yeah.
So they have ads like
transcriber.
That for stuff. Yeah. So like find an actual skill that anyone can do, and I'm putting air quotes out there, find an actual skill that anyone can do, okay? And then go find a course on like Udemy or Skillshare or Coursera or something like that. And usually I don't like those places as a course seller. I don't like them because they control your price and they can shut down your stuff. Anyways, long ramble there, okay? But if I only had $1,000, I'm going to find the thing that teaches me how to do something the fastest.
Yeah.
And I'm going to use that skill, whatever the difference is between the course and my $1,000, I put it to whatever equipment I need to do the job.
So you'll
Okay.
spend it on information.
Information.
Yeah.
Information, and the essential thing that I need to do the job with the least amount of overhead and the least amount of stuff needed. So for instance, copywriting is like an example, or it could be, whatever other
Let's
people
say
can
it's
do.
courses.
Okay. Well,
What would you do for that?
like if I wanted to do a
Yeah.
course, then
If you wanted to sell
if I wanted to be able to sell a course in under $1,000, the only absolute thing I would need is like a computer. And if I already have a computer,
take payments.
I'm sorry, what?
You need something to take payments.
Yeah, you do, but PayPal. You do PayPal for free. Like I tell people this, and I'm straight up with people. Look, if you don't have the money and you really want to sell courses, you could do it for free. Technically, you could do it for free, and I'll explain to you guys a little bit how. And then I would use 100% of my $1,000 for a course or mentorship.
Yeah.
Okay, because you can do, and we're spilling all the secrets here, but really it's a hassle to do for free. But you could do PayPal for payments. You could do Google Drive to host your course on, and then you could just do Facebook Messenger for your coaching. And then you're done and you're ready. And
We
if you-
know people that do this.
Yeah, people do that, and you could make a ton of money doing that.
But okay, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, and then I would spend that $1,000 on some type of a mentorship or a membership program where I
Yes.
could learn how to sell.
Yes.
And it would not be how to do social media; it would be how to sell. Because
Yeah.
I wouldn't learn.
No Instagram
I'm not going to
courses.
take an Instagram course on how to make reels. I'm going to spend money on how to DM people to make money.
Yeah.
I'm going to spend money on how to reach out to people on LinkedIn to make money,
Or how to craft a sales
or how to
page.
craft a sales page, or how to do those kinds of things. I'm going to spend money on those things. I personally would rather spend my entire $1,000 on a single program that's reputable and covers a lot of stuff than do like 5 or 6 on Skillshare or Udemy. Or something
No,
like that.
nothing you should
So-
ever buy is on those.
I wouldn't if you're really strict on budget and
It's
like
all
and,
just
and
stuff
you don't
from
have
YouTube.
time, but that's the thing.
Yeah.
If you don't have time and the course looks like it outlines everything, sure, pay the $7 for the course or whatever. Okay, but no, I would rather go to a bona fide mentor that I can get input from as much as I can.
But you
for
won't get that
$1,000.
you will not get anything from anybody
No,
for $1,000.
It's hard.
You won't talk to the person.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. So another thing as a side note that's slightly unrelated is a epiphany that I had ever since joining higher ticket mastermind. So 5,000, 6,000 and up is I pay now to get into those types of masterminds, even like 18,000, 20,000, because I like to see how they think. So a lot of you guys will just spend $1,000 like with Doug's method, which is totally fine. He's smart and I like what he's saying. Obviously my method is to go into debt, but like, cause it's not enough. Like $1,000 course, not enough.
No, and it's not.
Because
It's
you'll
not,
just
okay.
fail so much still.
Yes.
So an epiphany that I had as like a random side tangent, like probably ever since we started investing in these higher ticket masterminds, anywhere from 5,000, 6,000, all the way up to like 20,000, is that we now pay for the experience. Okay. So we pay to hear how people think about money. Like I was mentioning, I don't know, in this podcast or the last one actually about money mentality and how that's like the whole, it rules your business is how you perceive money and its worth. And so anyways, when Doug would say to spend $1,000 on like a more higher ticket to some of you guys course that teaches you how to do courses, like you're not going to talk to anybody. You're going to talk to the people that most likely aren't having success because it's only $1,000 program.
Yeah, you're gonna talk to like
So,
the coaches.
Just
and
know that
whatever.
and it's not bad. Like we took our first course on a course from Melissa Griffin, which I don't think she sells it anymore, but
I don't know.
it was $1,000.
It was worth it though.
Yeah, and we
it
learned
taught me
how
the
it worked.
fundamentals. I learned how like the basics of things.
But we still failed a ton because we
Yes.
couldn't get direct feedback from people.
Yes, it
So
we
you-
didn't. I didn't get talked like some people expect to pay $1,000 and I get to hang out with Melissa Griffin like the whole time. Like
No.
that's not how this works.
No.
But when you start paying $20,000 or $25,000, we got to talk to our mentor weekly.
Yeah, and he told us
like,
what to do,
yeah.
how we're messing up. Yeah.
Yeah, and he would like just shake his head at us and stuff.
And so you just skip over years of failure when you do that.
Yeah.
Like that's why we don't do the $1,000 course thing anymore. Even
Yeah.
if I didn't have the money, I wouldn't if I had this knowledge now, because you just, you skyrocket past everybody because you don't make years of mistakes.
The true answer, and I agree with Haley on this, the true answer is that if you only have $1,000, you need to get more money. And so you need to get a credit card or you need to do something like that.
He does agree because he did that. Yeah.
Yes, and that's what we did. So because you need to pay for that experience because you don't want to spend 3 years piecing things together and failing.
Yeah.
Like just pony up the money. They'll tell you exactly what to do.
Like you invest in college, it's ridiculous.
And you'll skip the 3 years of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This it was so annoying. I don't even know how much we spent, but we came out of college a state school, so it's not even a lot, but 40 grand worth of debt. It ain't forgiven, so what the heck? Just kidding. Don't expect it to be.
Yeah, do I get my money back now? Anyway,
at all, no. We paid it off. Okay. So, yeah, so we were in college debt. That's stupid. Didn't make us any money. Got us a job that okay, all the things we don't like about coming out with college debt. And yeah, so people are so excited to get into college debt. They're not excited, but they're like, of course we must do it. It's like,
oh, I got to go apply
why
for
would you
FAFSA.
not?
Like,
yeah. It's exciting. Like, honestly, it's weird. And then once you're an adult, you're like, oh, I no longer invest in myself because that's too much.
Yeah,
I'm like,
people
you weren't
don't even
saying that
read.
when you were dumb
people
and
don't
like
even educate
18.
themselves. Like you were pumped to go learn about Greek mythology, but like you won't spend a day to learn how to like build a business.
Yeah.
Like,
or
how
even
dumb is that?
5,000, like, or 1,000 or 500. Okay. I digress. Other
Anyways.
things too that people spend on that like doesn't make them any money. Okay. Their time too. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but if I had 1,000, so you would do a full course.
Yeah. If I had $1,000, I would go the free course route, and I'd find an expertise that I really like. Like I'd take payment through PayPal. You could set up pages like you got free websites too. They have like Wix and other free things that you can do. Free website, free PayPal.
But you'd find like an
No.
all-in-one course that taught you how to do courses.
And then I'd find an all-in-one course that taught me how to sell and how to craft a course and how to deliver.
So why would you do a course?
What do you mean?
Like, because this whole idea is like, you know, if you
Just throwing me a
would
curveball
invest $1,000 in your business, like why wouldn't you do drop shipping? And you did Amazon FBA.
Well, yeah, I did those things, but those things like it doesn't give me skills. Like I want to pay money for skills that apply to lots of other things too.
Yeah.
You know, so
true.
like being able to taking a course on courses will teach me how to do sales pages and will teach me how to sell, or might teach me how to
craft an
DM,
offer.
or might teach me how to craft an offer. And that's knowledge and experience that like paying for drop shipping just teaches you how to drop ship.
Yeah.
And so like that's why I wouldn't do that type of
Yeah.
course. I wouldn't do a physical product. A physical product would be the worst. People always used to ask,
We
how
did
do I
that.
get started on Amazon FBA with $1,000? It's like the truth is I put everything on a credit card.
We did that
I
too.
literally put everything on a credit card for Amazon FBA. Like I had to.
We always had the mentality that like,
Yeah.
we're not going to make more money with no knowledge.
And so what we ended up doing was, I put everything on a credit card and then to like the product and everything. And then I ended up paying with our money, the $1,000. Like if we had that $1,000, it went to a course.
Yeah.
Because you pay for knowledge. So yes, to answer your question, if I had $1,000, I would do all the bare minimum stuff for free, like the tools and the project or the products and all the stuff that's in there. I'd do that all for free, and I'd pay to learn the skills that I need because the skills go to other things too.
Yeah. So that is Doug's response.
Yes. It may not be a $9.97 course. It might be 2 $4.97 courses.
Yeah.
Or honestly, the real me, I'd take a huge chance. It'd be a huge gamble. Okay. I'd invest in a program where the monthly payments were $1,000.
Well, that's just leaning towards me.
I
What
know,
I would do.
But if I only had $1,000, I'd pay it. They'd be like,
Oh,
they'd be
yeah.
like, okay, so it's
You would.
it's 12 months of $1,000. I'd be like, okay, cool. Here's my $1,000. Now I have to make $1,000 that month.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
Yeah, and then I can make another $1,000. Then I can make another $1,000.
You have to, yeah.
That's the honest one.
Yeah. So this really leads into like your spouse
Is that pretty
question.
brutal, though? Is that-
No, that's just how life is. Like, I mean, it's just our normal.
I thought I was a savage, and Haley says I'm simple.
No.
Whatever.
That's good. That's
Okay.
like good. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. I got my wife.
Yeah, people like to talk and listen to Doug because you're like more logical than me. I'm like a dreamer,
Yeah, you are a little bit.
but I'm not a dreamer. I'm very logical. I just believe that can happen. Anyways, so for what I would do is if I had no knowledge, I'd do what Doug does. But if I had this knowledge, or if I just was obsessed with learning about like how to sell people courses or how to do one-to-one mentorships, I would get a Kajabi.
Okay.
So what is Kajabi? It's like an email provider.
So Kajabi, here's the thing. I would do everything free, but it would look janky.
Yeah.
It'd be hard to piece together.
You can only do so much in Canva.
I'd be spending all this time putting things together. Okay. But if I had the time, if I had a little bit of money, Kajabi, what it does is it hosts your course. It does your email. it does websites, it does landing pages, and it processes sales for you.
Yeah.
So it does everything.
It's like,
all in
I don't
one.
know, 100 something a month.
Yeah. I mean, you get
cheaper than doing them separately.
Yeah, way cheaper. It's like 119 or something a month. If you guys want to try it, we have like a 30-day free trial. That
We
you
do.
Can try out too. But yeah, that's a good one.
Mm-hmm. So I'd get Kajabi.
Mm-hmm.
I would probably nowadays use just my iPhone if I had only 1,000 and like I could not go into debt because like you would kill me because I know I would try and convince like I was like, but okay, so which I did. So yeah, iPhone, like the latest iPhone, I'd upgrade because that shouldn't be too much per month more. What else would I get?
Lashes.
Lashes. I don't have lashes right now for once in my life. That would be a lot of money. I'm just kidding. $100 more a month. Just kidding. Okay. So something else that I would do is invest in my vibe. I know that this is my aesthetic. I know that this is not something that actually that's not true. Doug has a whole office. Yes. Doug has a whole office where he'll look legit and you're going to start posting videos and people will see there's like a weird light strip that lights up and okay. But that's important. It's sick. Oh gosh. Yeah. It's like every man on YouTube has this light strip behind him. Okay, purple.
Easy. Listen. Yeah. Purple. Yeah, for sure. It's purple too. The light strip is dope.
Okay.
And it reflects off the carbon fiber helmet.
Okay. So I would invest in making myself look professional in whatever that meant for my niche. So if I was a mommy YouTuber, I would make whatever background I had look nicer, something that's more visually appealing for people. If I was specifically on YouTube or Instagram, whatever, I would try and update my home as best as I possibly could. That's what I did in 2015. I painted all the walls gray because it was hip at the time. That was like, remember gray walls were it.
That's a rough gray too,
IKEA.
man.
I know, it was so hard to paint gray. Doug did it.
It was like super dark. We were like, oh my God, it's like a dolphin in here. It's weird.
I hate gray walls, yeah. And then everything I got from IKEA, cheap, white, Facebook Marketplace wasn't a thing, actually.
No, we got, it was
Thrifting?
Craigslist.
And so I tried my hardest to make this janky apartment, like, look
IKEA
visually
hacks?
appealing because it was
turn that bookshelf sideways and we put food on the bottom of the bookshelf.
Yeah, I'll put some pictures, but I tried my hardest to be interesting to people. A lot of people will say my life is so boring. I don't put yourself together if that is required.
Yeah.
It's not always. You can be raw. It just depends on the format, put yourself together. Try to make your life visually appealing. Try.
Totally.
Do whatever it takes. So I would spend the rest of my money doing that and then just posting like a savage fiend, spending money on probably like a sales page template like ClickFunnels or
for sure.
Probably Showit's too expensive.
Showit's decently expensive.
Yeah, but ClickFunnels I'd probably do that.
You wouldn't even do that though. If you have Kajabi, you could just use Kajabi.
Oh yeah, never mind Kajabi.
I would do that and maybe buy a Kajabi template to save you time.
But the thing is like I know people will
things.
say, well, I could do that. I can make myself visually appealing, or my background, like this bird wall I have with this peacock or whatever.
This is the most expensive piece of wallpaper I've ever seen in my life.
It's this giant sticker.
Yeah.
And we need better lighting. But okay. So you don't have to be perfect. Like, look at me, like you don't have to be perfect. There's nothing cool on the wall. It's just birds.
It took me so much.
The lighting's
time
kind of
to put
janky
that
today,
thing out. Like,
but
it
you
was such a
gotta
hassle.
look like a little visually appealing.
Yeah.
To capture people's attention for when they scroll for 3 seconds. That's all. You don't
ha-
have to be a model.
No,
Like I'm
but
not.
This is the thing though. Like you have to invest in you and your trust level. Okay, whatever that trust level requires. So if that means I have to invest in a good camera to take good pictures because my aesthetic or my people care about pictures, and that's what you have to invest in.
Yeah, it's really just competing in the marketplace.
Yeah, and you have to the thing is that when people find you and they look up you and your brand, you can't have pictures of like random things.
No,
on
it
your
totally
Instagram
depends,
and
Doug.
stuff like
It totally depends. Look at like Erin Azar. She's one
Yeah.
of our old students for YouTubepreneur. And ICA actually, but she teaches beginners how to run. When I first saw her, and it's something I would tell her. But when we first saw her in our program, she was like just running like in a field. Like we were like, this is going nowhere. This YouTube channel. Now she's like massively successful.
She's been on TV.
She's been on TV. She's like got a partnership with Brooks Running Shoes and like all these things.
Yeah.
And she's just a regular mom teaching people to begin a
Yeah.
run with like comedy in there. And so we didn't really know what was happening.
I get what you're
And
saying.
she's a regular now with TikTok and everything. You can be a regular person, but I'm just saying, invest in whatever matches that trend. Okay.
Yeah.
So for me, it's a peacock. Well, I'm just kidding. But like, for me, it's like, that's just what I like. Girly kind of, vibes and just really for the Instagram feed. So I'm not sitting in front of a blank wall.
I get it. Yeah.
And so that's important to me because I do a lot of talking head, but like for her, it was important for her to she didn't have to invest in much. So that it's niche dependent.
Yeah. Well,
you know.
what I'm saying is that when somebody shows up to your Instagram and you're trying to be a professional, and
Yes,
sell
if
them
you're trying,
something,
but a lot of people aren't always. They're just
that's true,
entertaining and
that's
still
true.
selling something.
But if you're like
yeah, authority.
trying to be an authority,
And most
here,
of our students are.
yes,
yeah.
then you need to look like someone trustworthy. And
Yes.
you need to be able. You need
Credible.
To, yeah, you can't have garbage all over your room or something or in your background
Trash.
profile.
That's
like,
happened.
Yeah, it can't be stuff like that. But anyways, I think those are decent answers for spending $1,000 on a business here. I think I like my more things important to do things are like don't spend things on because people think they're necessary.
Outsourcing
but
too
they're
fast
really
is
not.
like a huge one.
Yeah, people like trying to go out and like spend money on an assistant when you don't even have anything that you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, stuff like that. I totally get that.
Yeah, but I think like that answers the question. I don't think this was very long, actually. Yeah, but I mean, there's something else I would really say to it. It's just, it really depends. And as far as like your spouse, I know you guys are probably thinking in your head, I could never put that on credit card. And Haley told me to, and the spouse is like, I hate that girl. You know, you have to have I think I said this word too many times. It's funny. Unfettered. Is that a word?
Yeah.
Unfettered faith in yourself. And even if you don't, you really have to fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing, I mean, if you haven't had proof that you can do it, you have self-doubt no matter what. It's only when you make your first dollar. And it's funny, I was actually talking to like a close person in our life, and they were saying that their husband's an entrepreneur and they just got married. And the woman was not an entrepreneur, worked 8 to 5 her whole life, never made a lot of money. He makes like $100,000 off Etsy, and he wants to invest $30,000 of their money into a new business. And she's like, what do I do? And I'm like, dude, he doesn't think like you at all. He doesn't think that 30 grand's a lot because he's already made 6 figures.
Yep.
So you have to start to adopt that mentality.
Yeah.
And
so I think if we blended our answers together here, I think we'd have a pretty good answer. Okay, so we blend our answers together and we basically say, Doug says don't spend money on these things, and instead try to bootstrap as many things together as you can.
Yeah, I like the whole like get your $1,000 into like a program and then a good program.
And then Haley says get $1,000 in, but take out a credit card for the rest of the program, and get a really good program.
If you can't figure it out in 2 months, because you will figure it out if you don't quit.
Yeah, and I mean that's what I tell people that when people come to me and they're like, I want to join your guys' program, but I don't know if I can afford that payment plan or whatever it is, then I break it down to them like, well, if you sold your product at just like $500 or $250, you got 4 people to buy, like all of a sudden you're hitting whatever metric you're hitting that you need to be able to hit to sell or to make your payments or whatever.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, they'll have a down month or they won't make money, they never have, and then they will attach that to their self-worth, their identity. They'll say, well, it didn't work last month. I'm like, why do you have to attach any importance to it? Like, you don't have to form a belief around something that you haven't done before or a down month.
It's a mindset thing, and I hate saying that.
Doug hates mindset stuff.
It's not that I hate it. It's just that like it's
you
it's
like
the
logical.
Answer. It's the answer to everything is that it is the mind. I just want to give other people an out.
Yeah.
That's all. But I guess the other out is go into debt. Just kidding.
No, Doug. Just believe in yourself. I don't know.
Okay.
Make it happen. Okay.
We got the challenge coming.
Yes, we have the challenge. I'll leave the link down below.
Yep.
It's in 3 days, and we'll go into way more
Very
detail.
specific.
I know. I planned this out because it's not really in 3 days. It's in like 8. But I'll leave the link down below to where you guys can join it and potentially win the prize, potentially win other things,
and potentially change your life with what you're learning in the challenge, and like be able to
go out and do
those things that you need to do.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're still here and you like these types of chats, leave a review on Apple Podcasts.
That helps out a ton. Obviously, like if you're on YouTube, comment, subscribe, do all the typical stuff that's there.
And we'll see you in our next one. Bye, guys.